Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three,
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.
Hello and welcome to Canberra's coveted AIS Arena, where the UC Capitals are taking on Geelong United in what should be an enthralling battle. The Caps come into this game full of confidence after a drought-breaking win over Adelaide just 2 nights ago on the road, while Geelong are desperate to get back on the winners list following 3 straight losses. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are around the world. Julia Montesano, Nathan Strempel and Fit Country Women's head coach Zoe Carr are bringing you the action today. Welcome, Zoe, an exciting contest to come.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and love the opportunity to watch the WNBL, and this is set to be a great game.
2 former teammates catching up there, and Gemma Potter and Jade Melbourne. Well, today's game sees 5th come up against 8th, Zoe, and the Caps will be hoping to back up their Friday night win over Adelaide today.
Definitely. They had an outstanding game against Adelaide, and they'll want to continue that run moving forward, but obviously Geelong will be looking to stop that and get themselves back on the winners list.
Well, it's been a brilliant round to watch so far around the rest of the league as well. We've seen Bendigo continue their winning ways, but how about that buzzer beater from Abby Ellis last night, Zoe? We've got to talk about it.
Incredible. I was watching that game from home, and I think 3 suburbs over heard me once that 3 went down. An outstanding shot from Abby Ellis. But again, I'm not sure why we're surprised. She's been hitting 3s like that all year.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into today's action, and we'll start by acknowledging Jade Melbourne's amazing achievement. She's reached 1,000 WNBL career points against Adelaide on Friday night, which is a great milestone for the 22-year-old. She's in her 5th season with the Caps, and last season she made the WNBL first team and won the fans MVP. So an amazing achievement, and she got the dub, and she was happy to chat about it with Nathan Strempel, who caught up with her earlier on.
Jade, you asked Santa for a mid-range jump shot. What's your New Year's resolution?
Yeah, for us and the Caps, it's to get more wins. Undefeated so far in 2025. So, yeah, new goal, bit of a reset for us, and great opportunity to get another one today. So, looking forward to it.
On that note, great win in Adelaide. Sense of belief amongst the group getting over in the last quarter?
Absolutely. We were down 3/4 time. And, yeah, to dig deep, fight through a bit of fatigue, and, yeah, get a massive win. Munga was great. Shout out to her in her 50th game. Charlie Collier was unreal. So, we're building some momentum now, and, yeah, we're looking to build on that again today.
And shout out to you scoring your 1,000th WNBL point. Not a bad milestone.
Yeah, pretty cool milestone. But for me, it was good to get the win, I think. I was celebrating Munga's 50th more than the milestone. So, yeah, great achievement, I guess. But at the end of the day, Caps got a win, and that's the thing I'm most proud of.
All the best for another one today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks to Nathan and Jade for that interview. Jade Melbourne as humble as ever, and she said she was celebrating the Nicole Munga milestone, and so were we, Zoe. We were both on the call for that game. She stood up to the occasion, 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 threes. What a performance.
She definitely did, and she did it all. But the best part about it was she was just herself. She brought the energy, she brought the heartbeat to this team. Offensive rebounds, obviously sticking 3s left and right, but getting steals and really turning the game at really pivotal points. So, and to be able to do that in a milestone is really exciting.
Well, big congrats to Nicole Munga. Played 50 with possible 51, and she's back out here tonight. So amazing consistency from her. Let's switch our focus to the visitors now. And Geelong, they're going to aim to snap a 3-game losing streak today. And a clear area they need to improve is their shooting consistency. They're currently last in the league for points per game, Zoe.
Yeah, I think they've had some struggles with players in and out and some injury, and they are a young group. So offensive flow is going to take some time, but hopefully they can get some consistency with their roster and then be able to move forward and find that offensive flow.
Also a big chunk on the road this month, as Nathan's going to chat about with Chris Lucas very shortly. Well, one thing United can take confidence in is that they're leading the league in steals with 12.2, Zoe. The next best team is Perth with 9.5, so a pretty significant margin there.
Absolutely, and it's a real testament to them in how they're willing to defend and hustle and understand their scout as well. So now the challenge for them is to make sure that they capitalise on those steals and turn those steals into offense for them.
Well, Jazz Shelley has been leading the way in steals with 2.4 per game. You can tell she really prides herself on her defense, Zoe.
Yeah, she does. And it's a bit of an underrated skill for her. When we think Jazz Shelley, we think three-point shooting and the ability to score. But she's always been an outstanding defender. But I would really like to see her have that breakout game offensively and show us what she is actually capable of at the offensive end.
Averaging 6 points, 2.9 rebounds and 3 assists per game, as well as those impressive steal numbers, is Jazz Shelley. Let's now check in with Geelong coach Chris Lucas. He caught up with Nathan Strempel a bit earlier on.
Chris, you're in the middle of a month on the road. How are the group travelling together?
Yeah, look, it's been tough, but we knew that January was coming up, and we're still, I know it's middle of the season, but we're still building and getting some minutes into some of the young ones. So it's been a tough couple of weeks, but we're looking to get better today, I hope.
You mentioned the young ones. You've got a long history of developing young talent. Do you still find joy in coaching people that you've touched base with as juniors and now at the professional level?
Absolutely. I think that we've got a couple of girls here that have been real finds for the league, and I think they're going to be very, very good WNBL players in years to come.
Chris, all the best today.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks to Nathan and Chris for that chat. Well, someone who is having a breakout season for Geelong is Hayley Jones. She's come across from Atlanta in the WNBA, and she's balled out really from the word go, Zoe.
She has, and particularly at the offensive end. And we saw last week against Townsville when they were really struggling to score. She took it upon herself to take over that game for them and get the scoreboard ticking. So she's going to have to continue to do that with this young group, and hopefully they can come with her.
Absolutely. Hayley Jones ejected as a leader as soon as she got there from the start. Really impressive averages, 15.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.3 blocks. And of course, coming off that really impressive performance against Townsville, where she had 22 points and a couple of rebounds to go with it as well. So you're right, Zoe, really stepped up to the occasion there. Well, I'm sure she'll be focusing all on today's game. Of course, Geelong desperate for a win, coming off that 3-game losing streak. The Caps hoping to go 2 from 2 after a win against Adelaide on Friday night. The referees for today's game are Talia Hanks, Marcus Hayden and Ethan Took. It was a big job for the referees. You can see the starting fives for each team beginning to roll out onto the floor. And we can see Geelong is going to go with a bit of a different look. We see Monique Conti coming out of the starting lineup and Hannah Hank come in, Zoe.
Yeah, I think just looking for that extra size and length to start the game, and then bring that spark from Conti off the bench.
And the Caps going with the same starting five as last game: Horvat, Melbourne, Munger, Poch and Collier, and confirming the Geelong United starting five. It is Sharp, Brett, Hank, Jones and Froling. So big game coming up today from the AIS Arena. We thank you for joining us. A battle between two emerging teams, 5th versus 8th on the ladder. And a big welcome wherever you are around the world. It's the UC Capitals up against Geelong. The Capitals in the black strip today, and Geelong in the white singlet and the navy shorts. And the two milestone players are going to share it around to start. Melbourne coming off those 1,000 points, and Munger off the 50th WNBL game. But Keely Froling, she's starting the game as she has all season, crashing the boards. Gets it from Alex Sharp, one of the new additions to the Geelong team. Joined a couple of games ago after a stint over in Spain. Getting to work already, Alex Sharp, beautiful start.
And a great start for Geelong there, just ball movement, attacking the rim and clearing out that help on the split line. That's really good signs for Geelong.
Melbourne now getting to work on the opposite end. It gets stolen away from her. We mentioned Geelong's prowess in the steal department, league leaders. Just over 12 per game. Just couldn't quite finish it off offensively. Great one-handed receive there from Collier. Equally great defending from Jones. We highlighted her offense, but her defense has been just as good. Great crowd packed into the house as always in Canberra. They love getting behind their Capitals. Collier, that's a nice look.
And a beautiful little punch screen and separation there to be able to get that mid-range jump shot. I think that's what Collier, when she does that, when she allows the game to come to her, that's where she has her big games.
So For those at home who don't know, punch screen, Zoe, can you explain it?
So it's basically a screen on the side, just outside of anywhere outside of the keyway, but with your back to the baseline, so rather than to the sideline.
Great three by Keely Froling to open up her scoring account for Geelong. An early lead for the visitors, who have been on a pretty significant away trip in the month of Jan, in the back half of December as well. Coming off a road loss against Townsville too. Tough one to take, 85-61 in that game. Brett pulls up, just rattles out. Melbourne tough on the boards. Quick pass out to Horvath, beautiful step through.
And a great find from Jade Melbourne there too. She could have gone into the post, but everybody had started to swarm on the post. So finding that second cutter in Horvath, outstanding pass.
Bowling now goes into Hank, who's looking for a first opportunity offensively. Let's get down to Nathan, who's got some info for us. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Julia. Just touching base with Chris Lucas pre-game. He talked about Hannah Hank coming in the starting lineup and talked about one, Keely Froling's natural position being at the 4 and wanting to release her there, and we see the early triple from Keely. But 2, rewarding Hank's work ethic. He says how good she's been at training, and says he wants to invest in the youth and wanted to test for her to go up against Charlie Collier, the former #1 draft pick in the WNBA.
Thanks for that info, Nathan. It seems like the move's paying off so far. Keely looking very free out there. Hitting that 3, as you mentioned as well. And we love to hear coaches rewarding players working hard at training. Hannah Hank seems to be a real workhorse and a leader in this team. As does Jade Melbourne for the Caps, of course. That was her first 3 of the game.
I love that confidence to be able to bring the ball down the floor. We talk about it with young athletes all the time. If no one's defending you, you just score it. And that's exactly what she did. But an outstanding screen there too for Jones to be able to come off and get on the rim. They need to get her going early if they're going to be a chance in this game.
Tough drive from Melbourne. She'll go to the line for 2.
You can just see both teams are really working the ball offensively. It's not like it has been in other games where it's one pass shot, like it's getting moved, they're coming off screens and finding each other. So it's really exciting signs for both groups.
Jade Melbourne coming off 20 points, 5 rebounds and 8 assists against Adelaide. A bit quiet early on, but she absolutely exploded in that last quarter, and so did the Caps.
She did, and it's one of the great things about her. She does what she needs to do for the group. So if for the group it's to go and get 30 points, she goes and gets 30 points. If it's to facilitate, she does that. So a great athlete to be able to have on any team.
Brett getting to work. Hank's still with it. Great persistence, but the rebound went the way of the Caps, and Collier just apologises to Munga there. Nine plays 7 early on in this game. Part 1 of a Sunday doubleheader, of course. Later on, we're going to see Adelaide taking on Perth in the West. Big challenge for Scott Ninnis and his team. 2 hard nuts on the floor there, Keely Froling and Jade Melbourne. We spent some time in the Opals camp together, of course. You can see there the wrestler for the ball, Nicole Munga jumping in there as well. The 51st WNBL game today. And great to hear Chris Lucas speak about thriving on the challenge of bringing new players into the league and getting them going, and they seem to be starting to find their rhythm. Geelong, in patches that we've seen this season. I know the results haven't quite gone their way, but they're doing well, and so is Potch for the Caps.
And I love seeing that from the Caps, pushing the ball in transition, getting heat on the rim early, particularly from Potch. She's so long and athletic that they should be looking to try and put that pressure on every time down the floor.
The scoring is happening with a flurry here at the AIS Arena. Back-to-back baskets from Potch. Let's see if Jones can go back-to-back on the other end. Finds Froling on her own and nails it.
And great work off to a 2-foot stop as well. Jones couldn't get that reverse layup that she was looking for, and was, because she played off her 2 feet, was able to pivot back and find Keely Froling.
Potch again in the action, finds Horvat. Melbourne wanted it. Gave it back to Nadio.
I'd just like to see Horvat at least look at the rim there. She's got a 3-point shot, and just being a bit submissive of it allows the Geelong defense to really pack the paint. So she's got to at least look at it and threaten that she's going to shoot that 3.
Yeah, it was held scoreless against Adelaide on Friday night as well. Just the 4 rebounds for the game.
And you can see that can sometimes happen when you have a game like that. You sort of lose a little bit of confidence, but you know, she's had a body of work. She can hit those shots, so she needs to remain confident in herself and in her shot, and still threaten that to try and drag the defenders out.
So Monique Conti comes onto the floor. Charlie Collier's taking a seat for the Caps. See Tofayano injected into the game. Hank still out there and still working hard. Horvat now. To Mungo, a deep triple. She hit 6 on Friday night. She started her campaign early today.
Love the confidence as well, but again, the Caps playing in transition. Geelong are struggling to find them when they push the ball.
Hank just tried to burrow her way through. Great defense from Tofayano, and the home crowd appreciates it.
And I don't think sometimes it's recognised the discipline it takes to not put your hands in there, because you've got them, they're struggling, they're going to have to throw something up. Sometimes you could just get that little bit too eager and try and block the shot, but Tofayano did a great job of just walling up and forcing the turnover.
Horvat from the corner. She does attempt the triple this time, and Potch is able to head to the line for a couple.
And you can see, so Horvat might be a little disappointed that didn't go down, but it's a predictable shot. It's a shot that she should take because she's good enough to take those shots. So being able to take those now allows Potch to get on the offensive glass because she's expecting that shot to come.
Checking it out on the Amy replay. Potch able to knock the first one down. And the second one's good to go too, so a great start for Nadia Potch. I know you mentioned on Friday night you love seeing her get aggressive and, you know, show off her offensive scoring power.
Yeah, she's too long and athletic and skilled, frankly, to not be showing us that week in, week out.
Good steal from Munga, and Horvat says thank you very much. Big start here for the Caps on their home floor. A timeout called. 20 plays 11. And you can stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit Signet.com to find your perfect power bank. An excellent start from the Caps. They seem to really be hungry for this win and trying to go back to back.
Yeah, you can see they've really taken their momentum from the last game into this one. So the challenge for Geelong is to be able to defend that because they're feeling good offensively. So they need to make sure that they're challenging every single shot, every single pass, and making it as difficult as possible. But the big key for Geelong is going to be their defensive transition. Can they slow the Caps down so then that they're matched up like for like and Caps aren't able to exploit mismatches?
So Geelong with a bit of work to do after giving up a 7-0 run. See how they respond out of the timeout. See there, Froling was triple teamed, and then Munga getting the steal away. Horvat just gliding in. Great finish from the Caps team, and you can see, we mentioned a great start for Nadia Potch, up to 6 points for the game so far. Melbourne up to 5 already too. So they're the types of names you want in your scoring sheet already.
Absolutely, and even just the intent, they've come out and they want to really put their stamp on this game offensively.
Nathan Strempel, you are down in the timeouts. What have you got for us?
Well, no surprise, Julia, that Zoe Carr was right over it. Chris Lucas talking about D-trans and finding players early and running them off the three-point line. We've seen Munga coming off a bunch of threes against Adelaide. She hits an early one in trans, and then the athleticism of Nards Potch being able to get in the rim in transition as well.
Thanks to Nathan Stremple joining us courtside today. We'll hear from him throughout the game. As Conti pulls up and just falls a little short. Great rebound from Potter.
I'd really love to see that from Potter. She's sort of been struggling offensively, but
no struggle there, is there?
But she's been struggling a little bit offensively, so getting herself in the game like that is going to be big for Geelong and for her.
The Capitals all of a sudden out to a 10-point lead. Can Potter go back-to-back? This time finds Froling. All that strong on the ball as she has been all season. Potch on the reverse. Jones able to keep it in and get going. Jones with the 4 points for the game so far. Great step through, just a bit hot on the backboard. And here's that signature Jade Melbourne speed racing down the court. I think she just got caught in two minds there.
But again, as a head coach, you'll be okay with that because the intent is to run. She's having a laugh. Think she thought about 3 different things she was going to do there and did them all at once. But the intent is exactly what the Caps are looking for, to really push the ball in transition.
And we saw the same thing on Friday night. A lot of smiles. They look like they're really enjoying themselves out there, and it seems to be happening again today. Jones. Conti. Bounce pass is a little short. It was cut off by Boya on the floor. And finds Horvat again.
And great job from Horvat too, running the floor. That's the 3rd time she's been able to score off continuing to run. And it's, you know, you go scoreless in a game only 2 days ago, and that's how you get yourself back into it. Just those little things. Run the floor, get your easy scores until you're back and feeling your normal offensive self. But the switching defense from the Caps is causing some real trouble for Geelong. Whenever there's any type of screen that is a Capitals player is half court on, they are switching straight away. And I think Geelong, once they figure out where those mismatches are and force them into that, they'll be able to pump the ball inside and get some easy high percentage looks.
Well, make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and more. Download it from the App Store today. Falling very trusty from the free throw line.
A little half-court trap from Geelong off the free throw. We've seen a bit of this season. Into a zone too, so really trying to mess with the Capitals' flow. I really like this from Geelong.
Dee will get into work. What a find! Tofayano finishes it off.
You're probably sick of hearing me say this, Julia, from the game a couple of nights ago. Change of pace is queen. If you want to be unguardable, you saw that little hesitation from Deeble there, just stood the defense up and was able to continue to attack. It's beautiful to watch.
I like the linger from the two queen. Go for it. Now they're playing with a lot of spirit here, the Caps. 27 plays 15 as we count down to the end of the first term. Let's see if Geelong can finish it on a high note and bring some momentum into the second quarter. Sharp, been a great addition to this team. Froling, she's been great from the get-go. Monique Conti for the triple. Another offensive rebound. Shelley, corner 3. Great persistence, just couldn't quite get the score in the end, but all credit has to go to the Caps. A fine first quarter performance. It's 27-15.
Thanks for being with us on today's coverage of the WNBL. The UC Capitals 29 leading Geelong United 15. Nathan Stremple joining Zoe Carr, Julia Montesano on the call. And it's been a fascinating first quarter. The Capitals obviously with that 12-point lead early. And the match has been at the 4 spot. Coach Chris Lucas, Geelong, shifting Keely Froling back to the 4 by starting Hannah Hank. And she's gone head-to-head with Chantel Horvat.
Froling with 7 and 6, Horvat 6 and 5. But it's been the defense of the Capitals that's unlocked their ability to run in transition. Horvat getting her 6 points in transition, and the Capitals having difficulty with early ball pickup due to the ability of the Caps to get stops and get out and run and hurt in transition.
It's 100% correct if you're looking from a statistic point of view as well. So Geelong only had 3 turnovers that quarter, but the Caps have 6 points off of them. Whereas the Caps had 4 turnovers that quarter and Geelong have 0 points off of them. So you can see the difference in the defensive transition in those 2 statistics right there.
Just waiting for some clock issues to be fixed on the floor. It's 27 playing 15 at the moment. Keely Froling leading all scorers with the 7 points. Nicole Munger and Nadia Poch 6 points each. And as Nate mentioned, Chantal Horvat also on those 6 points. Nicole Munger, by the way, back-to-back threes. Another hit check on her after 6 on Friday night.
Yeah, definitely going to have to run her off the line.
Boya manages to keep it in, a good effort. And an offensive foul there. Miss Hank, who we've been liking the work of so far. She's been battling really hard. That's the call. So Geelong needing a response. I know it's early on in the game, but certainly can't let the lead get away from them. Jazz Shelley, steals queen. Goes for a triple. You wanted some offensive power, Zoe. There it is.
Yes, that's what I've been looking for. She has the ability to light it up from the 3-point line, and we've seen it throughout her whole career. I'd really love for today to be the day that she really breaks out in the WNBL from the 3-point line.
She's inbounding now from the baseline. Back-to-back buckets will be very handy for the visitors here. Well, Froling and Hake not quite on the same page, unfortunately. There's a new starting lineup. Still trying to find their feet a little.
Yeah, and you just need to make sure now these things are going to happen. Got to move into the defensive mindset now. And great work from Shelley to get that deflection. And while she didn't come up with the steal, the deflection still plays a part psychologically in the ball handler's mind. So those little tips, little deflections are massive in the grand scheme of the game.
How about the cheer for Jade Melbourne when she came on the floor? She's an absolute fan favourite in this house, and so too is India Boya from the corner.
She has been outstanding for the Caps offensively. She comes in every game I've seen her play, she has had an impact.
Nearly from Brett. Just as good from the 3-point line. Alyssa Brett, really impressive start to the season for her. 30%, so 37% from the 3-point line is Alyssa Brett. Hank gets free. Shelley guarded by Babongi. Good look. Collier strong on the boards. It's in the hands of India Boya once again. Thought about the triple instead, handed it to her mate Chofayano. What a great combo they're becoming here in the Caps colours. Collier on Hank, this is the matchup we've been looking out for.
And Hank just doing an incredible job of pushing Collier off the block. You can see she wants to try and get as deep in the paint as she can, and Hank just is not allowing her to get feet inside the key. So a great job from her, and she continues to fight. She's going to make life really tough for Collier.
Intercepting there by Froling. Allows Brett to get on the move and step back for a three. Good hustle. Shelley, can she go back to back? Melbourne brings it down. She's crossing over Potter like no tomorrow, just didn't have the extra teammate with her.
And I love that turnout as well, just continually forcing the defender to not be able to regain their shoulders and their eyes towards the D. That's a really smart move. Obviously, at the last minute, it confused Collier too. She wasn't sure where to go. But again, the intent is what is important here. The Geelong have to be aware that the Caps are going to push the ball at every opportunity.
Shelley goes for another three and lands it.
And so now I think it's time for Geelong to really try and put something together, run her off some screens, get her open a little bit easier for those threes.
Timeout on the floor, 30 plays 21. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Canberra, where it's the Capitals 30 leading Geelong 21. A timeout on the floor. You can see the Caps lighting it up from the field goal range, 57%. Geelong not faring as well, but they've had a good start this quarter through Jazz Shelley.
Yeah, they have, and forced the timeout as well. I think that's the second violation for stepping over the line the Caps have had this game. So they need to tidy that up. The referees are clearly on top of it, but yeah, finding Jazz Shelley, getting those open looks. I think there'll be a discussion too that now they've got to make sure they run her off the line and don't allow shots like that.
This time it doesn't drop. Let's get down to Nathan Strempel. You with the Caps, Nate.
Again, Zoe Carr's spot on. Dory talking about urgency on that closeout with those Jazz Shelley threes. But exactly as we saw in that play, talking about frustration of trying to thread the needle on the pass, as opposed to making the extra pass to an open player in the corner where they can shoot open threes or attack off closeouts.
And again, just as you were talking, Nathan, another three attempt from Shelley. Luckily for the Caps, it didn't go in. They're really trying hard from three-point range, and this time Brett gets in on the action.
You can see a real shift from Geelong too. They're looking to push the ball in transit and put pressure back on the Caps. So, you know, start to open things up and force the Caps to try and find them early in defensive transition.
Brett's had a few attempts from long range, but made that one count. And Melbourne makes that bucket count.
That's a tough finish from Melbourne too. There wasn't much more Jazz Shelley could have done. The only thing that needed to happen was split line come across and help, but you're never quite sure what Jade Melbourne's going to do.
So offensive foul called. You can see Melbourne up to the 7 points for the game. A few subs coming in. Froling not quite happy about the call, but see a bit of elbow action there. Froling's first foul of the game, and wow, again.
Well, it's consistent. That was the exact same call that was just called on Froling down there. The movement forcing D to have to try and get through and getting clobbered at the same time. So again, it's something that the players are going to have to adjust to. You must have your feet still.
Danny Raver onto the floor for her first minutes today. Shelley up against Munga, one way, then the other. Jazz Shelley just misses the shot. Jane Melbourne off and running. Horvath again in a good spot.
I think that's something the Caps have done better than United, and if United can fix it, that high-low look, getting their angles on the pass. You see the seal there from Horvath, and instead of trying to thread it through from Jade Melbourne, she goes high, which forces the defense to shift, and you get an easier angle on the pass. Geelong have been creating that seal, but they haven't been able to capitalise on it yet because of the angles.
Whistle came in as Horvath drove.
Love seeing Horvath playing confidently and attacking the rim like that. She was a little hesitant at the start, but you can see here on that catch, just drives to her left and attacks the space rather than where she thinks she needs to be. Just find the space and get on the rim. Great job from Horvath.
6 points to the game so far. Chantal Horvath averaging 9.3 points per game, 6.5 rebounds as well. 71% she goes out from the line. Gets the second one to go. Nick Conti coming back onto the floor in the midst of all that as well. Raber to Jones to Sharp, getting everyone involved here, Geelong. Shot clock down in single digits. Raber goes and banks it in. One to come.
And great ball movement from Geelong there as well. It's something we didn't see in their last game. They kind of got pinned to one side of the floor, but now they're shifting and they're forcing the Caps to have to shift defensively as well. Opens up driving lanes, and then you get opportunities like we just saw there from Raber.
Averaging the 5 points per game. Converts a three-point play. 33 plays 27. Melbourne fouled.
And you just saw United there just looking to try and trap that on the first catch as it crossed halfway. I really like that from them. I like them being aggressive, and it does open up some lanes that the defense has to shift across when that happens. But a bit of an unlucky call there for Geelong, but again, the change in their intent has been really good.
Coach Paul Goris watching on, his 7th year in the WNBL, two-time champion, of course. Melbourne gets both free throws to go. Conti pushing the pace. And again, Geelong, great sets of hands here. Jones drives. Don't know if it was meant to be a pass to Raber, but she got it to go anyway.
And a great job there. They created the switch. You saw the Cap jumped out and jump switched those screens, and they looked to attack. Outstanding work.
Outstanding work by Munga as well. Elite footwork to get the two to go. After hitting back-to-back triples in the first quarter. Continues her scoring run. Look at this run from the Caps. 3 from 3 from Munga. Well, she'll go to the line.
That's a coach killer, that one. There's a bit of conjecture of whether you should shoot that three in transition. I love that three in transition, particularly when you can see Horvath under the basket there, ready to scoop up any rebounds. But to let her off the hook and send her to the line, that's just, especially when the Caps offense hasn't been flowing as well as it was in the first quarter. So to let her off the hook they'll be disappointed with that, but it's important now that they just regroup and get back into their offensive flow out of these free throws.
One more to come for Munga. 10-point lead out for the Caps. At 11. High scoring affair so far from the Caps. 40 points already. We're just over halfway through the second term. Jones looking to respond. Out to Shelley. Gets cut off.
The rotation defensively from Nicole Munger there was elite. If you're ever looking at how to do it, watch what she just did, because she was everywhere and she was anticipating where the pass was going, which caused the turnover.
It's back in action here, guarding Sharp. Conti has a look. Great rebound from Alex Sharp. Capitals fans know she did that so well, and Hayley Jones just glides in and gets one to go.
Beautiful work getting to the receiver spots, but the Caps on the attack again. You can see it's a clear directive to try and put heat on the rim in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock. And the Geelong had done a great job just sustaining that for a little bit, but as soon as they take a breath, the Caps are off.
So a timeout call to the floor. The Caps 42, leading Geelong 31. Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in our field. Leave the logistics of the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. So a close call to this one, Zoe. Geelong just outscoring them 14-13, but the Caps still have a really handy lead here.
Yeah, and it's, you know, they just have to chip away at this. They don't need to try and be up at half-time or anything like that. They just continue to chip away, but it's those little things that they're going to have to do. And the Caps are doing an outstanding job of really capitalising on the errors of United. So they have to take care of the ball. They have to get the right shots, even if they don't go in, because then they can be a chance of rebounding them. And then once the Caps come up with the ball, they must get into defensive transition as quickly as possible. Don't allow the Caps to get feet in the paint in the first 8 seconds.
So 3.5 minutes left in this opening half. Nicole Munger, a standout. Again, 11 points, 3 from 3 from the field. Hit all those 3 free throws as well. Jones has been trying to get going for Geelong. She's been leading the way so far with 6 points. Foley still on the 7. Melbourne. Looking for some movement from her teammates. But she couldn't contain it. Some of those passes from Jade that were like rockets. I don't blame some of her teammates sometimes for just not being able to quite collect it. Jones. A barometer for this Geelong team, but Potts says not today, not in my house. Can she get rewarded offensively? Shot just falls short. Great collect from Conti, an athletic lead. Hands it to Raber. Foley back on the floor. Couldn't get back on the score sheet. It's been a nice battle between Melbourne and Conti. Melbourne drives and it gets cut off by Potter. Raber off and running. Conti stepping back. Good rebound by Raber. An equally good read from the Caps to get it away from the dangerous Keely Froling.
You just see Jade Melbourne controlling tempo here. It started to get a little bit erratic, a bit ratty from both teams. So she's just looking to calm things down and get a good look.
Oh, very nice look there from Collier.
I'd like to see the Geelong United have gone last couple of possessions into like a stagger screen action. And I really liked it, but they weren't using it. I'd like to see them try and go back to that if they can and use those screens, really challenge the Caps defense.
Falling fouled on the step around. It's almost in slow-mo.
Caps fans not happy with it. I think they thought there should have been a travel there.
Rolling relief on the other hand. With Ford dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia. From Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL, we've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Frolling's had a nice start to this game. Geelong still trailing by 11 though. Just over a minute left in this second period. Sharp able to collect it. Big minute coming up here for Geelong. So they're headed to half-time. Some good things to work through, although the offensive foul won't help.
And again, that's a call that's been consistent all game. So a couple of things need to happen. Obviously, Froling needs to make sure she's still. But also the ball handler needs to make sure they wait for her to get to that position. If they go early, it's a certain foul.
So timeout on the floor. Chris Lucas wants to talk things over with his team, as will Paul Boris. Caps, it's been a bit of a, of course they started the first quarter so well, it's just been just as good in the second quarter, but they're still going really well. The replay here showing a bit of dash here from Jade Melbourne. And an equally good finish. She is such a star to watch. And you can see how pumped up she was leading into that timeout before. She just has her heart and soul invested in this Caps team.
Absolutely. She's the lifeblood of the group. But I think the Caps went into just a little bit of a double drag screen action, which I think slowed them up a little bit. I like to see them get back to their flowing offense, their punch screen, their splits, all those sort of things, which was working for them because they have gone empty on a few possessions recently.
Two animated timeouts from two of the best coaches in the league, Paul Boris and Chris Lucas. I love it when two masterminds get to go up against each other. Especially when Paul Boris has seen a bit of Hayley Jones in his time with Atlanta.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it off air about if the scout's ever going to be good on Hayley Jones, it's going to be today because of his knowledge on her. But it's also great to be able to coach against players that you've had something to do with as well.
Jones with the 6 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. So she's working through the scout pretty well. This is better D here from Geelong out of that timeout. Probably just a bit too much action there from Monique Conti.
And again, the intent from Geelong there to be all over the ball and smothering, almost suffocating the Caps there, which was really, really good. But there was 5 seconds to go on that shot clock and you're in the bonus. So just got to try and be a little bit smarter there and not give up that foul and try and just force a really tough shot. If she makes it, so be it, but force her into that tough shot.
So 1 out of 2 for Melbourne from the free throw line. And again, the whistle blows. So the refs have been getting a bit involved here. It's both teams in the bonus now with 38 seconds left in the first half. Hannah Hank at the free throw line. Came into the starting lineup today as that sort of match-up on Charlie Collier, and that would have been a hard task.
Yeah, welcome to your first start, and here is Charlie Collier as your first assignment. But she's done an outstanding job. We spoke about it earlier about the way she's been able to keep Collier out of the post and stop her from being able to get deep inside the key.
Collier with the 4 points so far this game. It stays with the Caps. Tofayado now going up against Haig. Very good D once again. I was going to say walk, but she's jogging over for her free throws. What do you think, Zoe?
Look, it's there. I think there was a bit of mayo put on it, but if you want to get the call, There was definitely the contact there, and she did a great job of taking the hit right down the middle of the chest.
So my apologies, no free throws. It'll just be general play, but just not quite on the same page at the moment, United.
Now they have to get on the same page now. The last thing they can have is a last 2 second score.
Jade from half court. Not to be. She came damn close. Capitals 45, leading Geelong 35 at the halftime break. Capitals looking to back up a big win on Friday night against Adelaide. And it's been a good start for them. Melbourne on screen up to the 12 points. Munga with 11, Horvat 7, Poch 6, Collier 4. And then on the Geelong side of things, Froling with 9, Jones and Shelley with 6. And then Danny Raybart with the 5 points. So a bit for the visitors to work through. The home side walking off the court, probably quite happy with where they're at right now. But let's get down to Nathan Stremple. He's got one of the stars of the show with him.
Well, Friday night in Adelaide, you have 24 and 7, 6 triples in their 50th game. Today, your lead all scorers shooting at 100%. Is 2025 the year of Nicole Munga?
I don't know. I think the year of the Caps, so far we're undefeated, so we're trying to keep that going. You know, we're playing well today. We have to keep it going. I think it's going to be really important for us to shorten our passes, limit those turnovers, so we'll see.
You talk about the year of the Caps. Usually you lead them in the hustle, but I'm fascinated watching the matchup at the 4 spot between Horvat and Froling. Chantel's got 7 and 8. She's guarding ferociously down there. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch, fun to play with. They're both really tough players, really strong players, so it's important that we make contact first. That's what Chantel's really been priding herself on, and we talked a lot yesterday. So it's good to see her getting those rebounds on the stats because she's doing a lot of work for them.
Fun to watch. Keep shooting, Nicole.
Nathan, appreciate it.
Half time, it's the Capitals 45, leading Geelong United 35. Nicole Munga shooting the lights out. Stay with us. Plenty more to come in the second half.
This over
Melbourne stop moving?
No, she's quick.
Got the steal off the inbound.
Melbourne three ball on the way.
My WNBA journey was pretty unique this year. I was at Seattle one day and Washington the next. I really copped the whole business side of the league, but it ended up being probably the best thing that could have happened for my career. I think Washington was a place where I could completely be myself. I was surrounded by great teammates, great coaches, and I immediately felt really comfortable there and knew I was in the right place. Being able to have trust installed by your coach and your teammates is something that's super important for me, and I kind of received that from the day I got there. I was allowed to learn through mistakes, I was allowed to learn on the fly, and the growth that my game saw over the course of the season was phenomenal. The Olympic experience was incredible. It's a childhood dream come reality, and you're playing with 11 girls that you've competed against and you've idolised, and just representing Australia is the pinnacle for me. Being in Opal is something I've dreamt of for a long time and couldn't be more proud of myself. You know, it takes a lot of hard work to get there. I've learned that you have to be ready no matter the outcome. You have to be ready for any situation. Sometimes you're going to be thrown in the deep end, you have to learn to swim, but that's all part of it. And just being in an Olympic village surrounded by athletes that have all gone on their own unique journey to get to where they are, it was so special.
Melbourne again looking to create. She has a look and knocks it down.
I mean, it's one of the best leagues in the world, and we pride ourselves on that. Year after year, World Cup after Olympics, the Opals are continuing to get podium finishes, so honestly, why wouldn't you want to come here? I think it's a fantastic league, and it's a league that continues to grow. It gets more exciting year in, year out. So, you know, there's always the attraction to go to Europe, but at the end of the day, I want to be a part of Australian basketball. I want to see and be a part of the success, and I know it's going to continue to get better and better, and I wouldn't want to be seeing it be successful and me be in another place. As long as the WNBL is running, I'll be a part of it. Looking forward to another year and another step in the right direction, and yeah, continuing to grow women's sport.
Welcome back to the AIS Arena, where it's the Capitals leading Geelong United by 10 points. Some great insights from Jade Melbourne at the halftime break, and she's picking up where she left off on Friday night with 12 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Zoe.
Yeah, she's just done it all, and we mentioned during the call that she has brought the others, but then she's got on the rim herself and you know, got her scores when she's needed to as well. So yeah, she's just had an outstanding start to this game, and it'll be up to Geelong to stop her, because otherwise she'll just continue with this form.
We're taking a look at some of the overall highlights of the game, and although Geelong outscored the Capitals by 2 in the second term, the home team are really playing with a lot of confidence and flair at the moment.
Yeah, they struggled early. Obviously, let the Caps get out to a little bit of a lead, but you know, they regained their composure in that second quarter. So now it's really important in the third quarter to take the next step from there. They've consolidated, they've come out, you know, like for like pretty much in that last quarter. Now they've got to try and chip away at this lead.
Here's how the scoring is looking so far. Jade with the 12 points, as we mentioned. Nicole Mugger, 11 points. We heard from her at the halftime break with Nathan, 100% from the field. Geelong, Keely Froley with the 9 points. No surprise to see that. Before we get into it, let's look at the Dream Courts plays of the round for round 9.
Rochi driving. And it's good. Good aggressive take from Rochi.
Quick trigger for Bendigo.
Quite get it to go. here, finding herself in all the right spots and converts. Bongi lets it rip.
How's that from the 18-year-old? Such poise, great finish.
For one leg, if you don't mind.
5.5 minutes remaining. Oh, gee, Wood's gotten her way. Can you believe that? Burton can capitalise here and does so efficiently. How often do you see that? The pressure really starting to come to the fore.
Thanks for your company for part one of this Sunday Signet WNBL double header. We're heading into the third term. It's the Capitals leading at 45-35 over Geelong United. Julia Montesano, Nathan Strempel, and Vic Country Women's head coach Zoe Carr with you, bringing you all the action in front of a great crowd in Canberra. The Capitals looking to back up Friday night's special win against the Adelaide Lightning here today, and they've started the game in fine form. Geelong with a bit of work to do leading into the third term, but the game absolutely not over, as we saw last night with that amazing buzzer beater, Abby Ellis. Townsville over in Victoria against Southside. Perth and Adelaide to come up after this game, of course. But you may notice today that players from both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence. This season, the WNBL, clubs, athletes and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue. Enough is enough. Life free from violence is possible and everyone plays a role. Real change happens. Learn how you can be part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. Let's head down to Nathan courtside. Nathan.
Well, fascinating hearing from both coaches during the break. So we see Canberra leading 45-35, but ominous signs there for Geelong. The shooting percentage down at 28%. Chris Lucas said, we just need to make easy shots. He likes the shots they're getting. They start making a few more layups, and then they're in the game. Their offensive rebounds kept in the game too. 10 offensive rebounds to Geelong to 2 for Canberra. So no surprise, Paul Goris says, we need to box out. And then also you get great insight into how Canberra want to play. He says we want to continue to look to run in O-trans. They did it really well in the first quarter. They went away from it in the second. Jade Melbourne, 7 turnovers. They've come from fighting teammates. And that insight into Canberra came at their last time out. Jade turns to her good friend Nard Potch and says, look at me, I want to get you open, because those turnovers coming from Jade Melbourne trying to find her teammates.
Thanks for that, Nate. Luckily they found Nicole Munger there. So already improvement from the Caps, but great insights there from Nathan Strempel from both huddles there, with some key things to work for Geelong and for the Caps as well. It's never all pretty when you're winning, is it, Zoe?
No, but I mean, Coach Paul Goris will be really happy with that first possession, and indeed the second possession, because you can see the intent from the Caps is to get back to that running game. So he'll be really happy with that, that message has indeed got through.
Nadia Potch has had a nice start to this game. 6 points, 3 rebounds. Let's see if her and Jade can work a bit better together to find each other, as Nathan mentioned. 7 turnovers for Melbourne. Have to keep an eye on too. If she can stay at that number. Not extend it anymore. Great pass to Froling. Good start for Geelong.
And great recognition of the switch there. They created the mismatch by using the screen, and then got the great angle, cleared out the weak side. So more of that from Geelong, because the easier, while they're not shooting at a great percentage, higher percentage shots are going to be what they need to look for right now.
That was the block from Jones down at the other end of the floor. Brett with the deep triple. You know she's capable of hitting those. This time it falls just short. Melbourne. Brett hit the deck. Melbourne gets the pass out to Horvat in the corner. Potch. Collier. Falls short, but good to see everyone getting involved in that offensive set there for the Caps. Froling this time has a go. So both the bigs are liking the look from long range. See, Geelong have opted not to start Hank on the floor in the second half. Collier remains out there. Shelley on the move. One of the steals leaders in the league. Froling banks it in.
And a really good lesson there for the Caps too. I think they thought it was a bit of a foregone conclusion that United were about to score off that fast break, but you know, a bit slower getting back, and Geelong did a great job of getting there, so they were able to continue to fight and come up with the score.
Eventually comes out in the hands of Shelley. Finds Jones. No call. Eventually the whistle comes.
And you just feel the momentum just slightly with Geelong at the moment. They're defensively, they're creating chaos. They're getting some good opportunities and some good looks. They haven't quite come off yet, but you can just sort of feel that they're starting to find their feet a little bit as a group.
And it's getting the right players involved as well. Keely Froling, 13 points, 11 rebounds now. So a double-double already for her, with those 2 baskets and a couple of rebounds already in this quarter. The captain leading by example for the visitors. Horvat tried the no-look dish. And again, another chance for United through Alex Sharp. That would have been massive. Munger calling for it down the floor instead. Potch gets it to Horvat. Great step around and great finish.
Beautiful footwork from Horvat. I wasn't sure that pass was going to get there given how long it was taking. But to be able to use that square up fake and put the ball to the floor there, that is beautiful post footwork from Chantal Horvat.
I mentioned her in the halftime break. Had a really quiet game against Adelaide. Just the 4 rebounds, no points. Now up to 9 for the game. Getting herself in the right spots. She's got the 8 boards as well, which is very handy too.
But the Caps have to take care of the basketball. That's 18 turnovers now, and we're not even halfway through the third quarter. So it's got to be, as Nathan said at the break, a connection between the passer and the receiver at this point, because more turnovers is going to cause trouble for them.
They'll like the look of that. Potch knocks down the 3 after a good set of passes there. Jones momentarily loses it and kicks it back out to Potter, and now Shelley. How can Geelong respond? They've had a really good start to this third term, still trailing in this game. It's turned over. Melbourne pushing the pace, wants a 3 of her own and gets it! Unbelievable from Jade Melbourne.
And you just see how it changes for the Caps when they get back into that running game.
56 plays 39. Jade Melbourne lining it up from long range. Count that, the bench is counting it, that's for sure. Good response from the Caps after a nice start from United. It's 56 to 39. Coaches putting their heads together. So it's been a tale of 2 halves already in this quarter. I mean, Geelong had a really nice start, and then the Caps just burst out of the ranks with a couple of threes to force the timeout, Zoe.
Yeah, you can really see the difference in the 2 timeouts as well. There's frustration from Coach Chris Lucas there, because he's really trying to just urge his team to get back to what was working for them early in the quarter and towards the end of the second half. And you can see Coach Paul Goris there just getting into his X's and O's and what they're going to do next. So it's really difficult for coaches to be able to get into what you want to do as a coach, which is the X's and O's, when you're really trying to get your team on the same page.
2 13s going at it out of the timeout. Shelley, confronted by Boya, manages to get away from her. Finds Froling, but Caps are right there with her.
And there's just those little things for United. It's almost there. But Gemma Potter's inside the paint, which creates a little bit of congestion or a little bit of a cluster there. If she can get outside of the paint, that opens up either a passing angle from her or that high-low look from Shelley.
Let's get down to Nathan Strempel courtside. Nathan, you're with the United, I believe.
Yeah, I was listening in, and Zoe, you picked it from the Chris Lucas body language. It was the lack of execution in offense, which they talked about during the halftime break. Poor shot selection leading to the UC Capitals getting in transition, which is exactly what they don't want. So watch for the next few offenses, Geelong, to settle into that execution a bit more.
You're on the money all game, Zoe. Good on you.
I mean, what do they say about broken clocks being right twice?
Always great to hear insights from great coaches around the league on this broadcast. 2 great masterminds going at it in Canberra. Paul Goris in his 7th year. Chris Lucas ranks 4th in all-time games coached in the league. Potter to Jones, launches. Collier is able to collect the rebound. Gets it off to Melbourne. Boya. Just came out of Potch's hands. Shelley now hesitated. Got it to Sharp. Just rattled out.
I think the Caps look better offensively when they get the ball into their offense earlier, so there's not too much dribble. I think they're struggling a little bit with any type of double drag screen or any type of screen where Jade Melbourne's having to handle the ball for so long. So I think if they can kick the ball ahead and enter their offense as quickly as possible, they'll see some better outcomes.
Collier starting to find his feet under the rim now with a lot of rebounds. Potch finishes it off on the offensive end.
An incredible look from Jade Melbourne. An even better catch from Potch there. That's I think the basketball that Coach Paul Goris is wanting to play.
Her and Nate say they spoke about it at halftime that Jade really does want to get her teammates involved. She does it with 7 turnovers, but she's going to keep trying this sort of stuff. She knows her teammates are capable. She's capable as well, though. She delivers.
A great decision to reject the screen there. Conti just a little bit high. I'm not sure if she was expecting an ice on-ball screen coverage for a defender to be there, but a little too high for her. Just took that lane and kissed it off the backboard. Beautiful offense.
12-0 run from the Caps now. And the lead has ballooned out. 60 plays 39. Very high scoring affair, and Caps still shooting extremely well from the field too, 54%. And for a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy, pick up a family pack of Latina fresh pasta and sauce. Ready in minutes and so delicious there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you.
And this is what you see in this league with any team. The second you fall asleep, even for a couple of minutes, this is the outcome. It balloons out the scoreboard. You really have to be mentally switched on for the entire 40 minutes if you want to win games in this league.
Well, Exhibit A last night, the Abby Ellis buzzer beat. I wouldn't say Southside fell asleep. They played really good defense, but it just shows that the classy players can just rise above like that. Nadia Potch.
And this is also what tends to happen when things start to, the momentum starts to shift. If the momentum was with Geelong there, Potch most likely would have fumbled that and it would have come out and Geelong come up with it. But when things are going your way and you're rolling, it tends to fall into your hands a little bit more.
On the Amy replay, Potch persistent with it, got the shot to go. Really nice performance from the young gun today, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Charlie Collier's going to come off for a break. She's got the 10 boards for the game to go with her 4 points. Hank couldn't convert the 3-point play for Geelong. 20-point lead for the Caps, 2.5 minutes left in the third period. Boya caught in 2 minds.
Geelong just have to try and find this offense that opens them up. I think if they set some more big to little screens and create those mismatches, roll their bigs on the rims and then find angles, they'll find good shots. That was a good shot there. Hank did a great job of drawing all the defense into the paint as she rolled to the rim. It didn't go in, but at least it's the right shot and something that they're looking for and something that they can then try and contest the offensive glass. But when they get stuck in over dribbling and a little too much, a bit uncertainty, a little bit of chaos, that's where the Caps are really starting to then run off their turnovers.
You're absolutely right. They can take a lot of positives from their bigs. We saw Collier go off. She's on the 4 fouls, and that's been due to the defending of Hank and also Froling chipping in as well. And you can see the Capitals making some noise now. The whole arena in voice.
I think both teams held their breath there for a second. They weren't sure who that was going to be called on, but great D from Horvat there too, to be climbing in like that. It's those things that you can do when the momentum is with you. You get that extra bit of energy and that extra step to be able to really play that tough D.
And a great crowd behind them as well. Always tends to help. Great facility, the AIS Arena. It's clearly a happy hunting ground for the Capitals at the moment. Holding that 20-point lead. Melbourne manages to mop it up. Great dish to Horvat. Can she complete it? Not quite. Hank. Raber. That's better.
A great read from Hank there too. She could have shot the mid-range pull-up, but up fakes, draws the defender in and finds the rolling Raber to the rim. That's great offense there. And offense that they've got to use that, feed off that kind of offense.
Booyah, it rattles in. It's when we were talking about when it's your day, that sort of stuff starts to fall, doesn't it?
I've been so impressed with Boya's efficiency this season. She's been such high impact for the Caps anytime she steps on the floor.
Hank followed through on her shot. See again, the Capitals just right with them in every rebound as well. As every shot. Good deep from Tofayano there. So Capitals ball. Under a minute left in the third period. Bowyer again finding the ball. And Shelley running away with it for Geelong. Potter to Raber. And Jade Melbourne hitting the deck pretty hard there. Just holding our breath and hoping that she's all right. Just holding her hip there. See what happened here.
Oh, yeah.
That was hurt.
Yeah. And look, she's tough as nails too, so if it means she's coming off the floor, that hurt every bit as much as it looked. But hopefully she just needs a second to compose herself and get back onto the floor.
Yeah, I think earlier this season, was it this season or last season? I think this season she had a tooth knocked out. She was wearing strapping around her head. She had tape on her elbow the other night. She just plays through absolutely everything. They actually get some treatment at the three-quarter time break, which is only 5 seconds away. Poch launches another triple.
Poch has been fantastic this game offensively. It's the offensive game I've wanted to see from her. She's done it from all over the floor, but particularly being able to stick to three.
Well, the Caps are flying 68-44 at three.
When this crowd, pull it down a little bit, yeah, good job. When this crowd starts cheering for it, means you're heading in the right direction. When they start booing, nothing personal. Just means This can be my lap. This not your university. But you're back at me in the end. Give those a big round of applause.
Welcome back to the nation's capital, where it is the Capitals leading by 24 points at the end of the third over Geelong United. And Zoe Kai was off the back of a 23-9 third term. Talk about dominance.
It really was. The Caps came out and just really exploded in that third term. They got their running game back and were finding players hitting threes again. And their offense just started to flow, which makes it really hard for United to be able to try and get back into what they need to be doing at the offensive end because everything's working for the Caps.
Incredible field goal percentage and three-point percentage for the Caps, 57 and 64. CJ Noel with a smile on her face. A heavy collision just before the three-quarter time break. Landed a bit tough after an attempted bit of defense on Gemma Potter. Just getting into some stretches, and looks like we'll see her come back on, which is great news for this Caps crowd who love their captain so much and come out week in, week out to watch her and her team do her thing.
That's a really good first possession from United, looking to try and attack Tofeano off the high post catch. With Hank looking to take her off the bounce. It didn't quite come off, but the look is the right look, and they need to get as many of those as possible to try and chip away at this lead.
Yeah, it's quite hefty at the moment, 68 to 44. Last time these two teams met, it was the Caps getting the job done, 73 to 60. So they're gonna beat that score. United with a bit of work to do to try and wrestle some momentum back. It's been a tough roadblock for them. 3 straight losses coming into this game. Boya. Thought about the 3, then went for the 2.
I would have liked to see her shoot the 3, but a great job being able to play in that mid-range game as well.
Shelley likes the look of the 3. Great rebound by Potter. Hank had a good look, gets her own offensive rebound. It seems to be a theme for Hannah Hank. Really follows through on those shots. Unfortunately, couldn't get the pass right. Boya steps back. Tofeano keeps it in. Poch, Horvat, dribble, bank, done.
The Caps now have 4 players in double figures. That makes them so hard to guard when it's not just one person carrying that scoring load. And they've done it through ball movement, by attacking the rim, by finding open players. It's been a real pleasure to watch how they've gone about this game.
And they've done it without largely Charlie Collier as well, who's sitting on the bench at the moment with those 4 fouls. And Tofeano, very heavy contact there on Hank.
I think the refs might be having a discussion whether to upgrade to an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it was certainly aggressive from Hala Tofeano. The refs have been really consistent with their calls today. We've seen a few sort of moving screens called as well. So they have upgraded it.
I think the head-high contact in that becomes the factor in upgrading it.
Probably the right call in the end by the looks. So we'll take a timeout before it all happens. 72 plays 44. Quick break from us.
Take your time in this time. See if we can power up this crowd once again. Feeling pretty good.
Thanks for joining us at the AIS Arena. Hannah Hank putting through both those free throws after the foul, which was conceded by Ella Tofaiano, was upgraded. So Carr just mentioned before the break, the head-high contact would have seen that foul upgraded with an aggressive elbow there from Ella Tofaiano. Hannah Hank getting rewarded for a pretty positive performance from her. Still a hefty margin, 72 plays 46. Alyssa Brett for a three. Tofaiano on the boards. Katie Deeble getting some late minutes. See the points breakdown just to the left of your screen. You mentioned that dominant third term from the Caps, and they've continued their scoring run here in the fourth.
And great execution from the Caps there too. That's exactly what Coach Goris would have been looking for. And to go at Potch, who is playing so well and has a bit of a hot hand, really, really smart from the Caps.
Nice jump shot there from Froling.
And this is the danger for the Caps. They've done such a good job defensively to hold the Geelong United to 48 points, you know, almost midway through the fourth quarter is such a great effort. Now becomes the challenge, can they keep that? Can they keep the foot on the gas, particularly if Jade Melbourne doesn't come back in? I think if Paul Goris can save her and not have to put her back in, he probably will, but if she doesn't come back in, can they manage this and continue to have that suffocating defense when there's such a big margin? It is difficult to get that done, but it'll be a part of their standards moving forward.
Yeah, these games can often be danger games. If you think the really winnable ones are winnable, they can often turn into real danger games if you take your foot off the pedal, because the teams that don't fancy themselves as much go super hard.
Yeah, well, those sort of behaviours become habit, and you know, then you end up having that sort of habit creep in a game where you can't afford it. So, you know, that's got to be something that becomes a part of their behaviours for the whole 40 minutes, regardless of score.
Good effort by Jones there. Dried up in the scoring a little bit in the second half. 8 points for the game now. Potch, she's been lighting it up from wherever she shoots it from. Nadia Potch, a 20-piece.
And good shooters, especially when they're on, are going to shoot shots if your hands are down. Hayley Jones was in a pretty good defensive position, but just her hands down, and Potch is able to let that one fly.
Great reverse there by Shelley. She can take a lot of confidence from her game. You mentioned at the start of the broadcast, though, you wanted her to be a bit more offensively minded. She's hit a couple of threes in this game and made the most of her looks from two as well.
She has, and I think she just needs to figure out, you know, what's her shot and where they come from in this group.
Has another opportunity here instead. Froling gets rejected by Tofaiano.
And great job from Tofaiano too to block that into Froling so they get the ball back.
Froling a bit frustrated. So the Caps still shooting remarkably well from the field, 59%, and unfortunately for Geelong, it's the complete opposite story, 24%.
Yeah, and percentages, that the Caps are shooting well, there's no doubt about that, but a lot of things that play into good shot percentage are good shots. Is that they're getting high percentage looks, wide open shots, creating for each other, giving up good for great, so you're able to shoot at such a high clip.
Yeah, mentioned no Melbourne at the moment for the Caps, also no Collier. She's still sitting on the bench with those 4 fouls. So a chance for this young team to continue to find some connection as a timeout's called on the floor. 78 plays 52. The Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate 50 years and the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. Again, the Caps have continued their scoring flurry, and Geelong, I suppose, what's the messaging here from Chris Lucas? What do they need to continue to work on?
Well, look, at this stage, unless something remarkable happens, they're not winning this game. But it'll be about their standards and what's expected of them. But they also may look to try and defensively get up the floor and create some chaos. They might try and get some quick, easy steals, put some unexpected pressure on the Caps, and get some quick scores. But then offensively, they'll be wanting to execute here again for the next game. They want to make sure they finish this game executing the way they want to going into the next game.
It's really tricky for both coaches. It's tricky for Chris Lucas because the game's like, out of their reach. So what do you sort of say to your team? But then also for the Caps, how do you ensure that they keep the foot on the pedal without 2 stars out there as well?
Yeah, and it's part of it. From what I've found, I don't claim to have all the answers, but part of it is keeping them engaged, so switching some things up and making sure they're still having to think. If they're still having to think, they'll stay engaged in the game.
Rolling. Definitely doing some thinking about the shot, but Tofayano with her again. Back-to-back blocks for Ella Tofayano. Geelong back with it still. Jones double teamed. Good help there by Tofayano, doing it all in the defensive end, but Reba was just better. Hit the 3.
Great poise from Jones there as well to be able to pivot and kick that out once all the defense had collapsed on her.
This is a nice response from United out of the timeout. Jay Melbourne still watching on from the sidelines. Let's head to Nathan Strempel courtside. He's got an update for us on Jay. Nathan?
Thanks, Julia. I just thought I'd let everyone know that Jade Melbourne is okay. Just with the margin of the game, they haven't needed to put her back in, but she can play if she's needed. She's just got an almighty corky in her glute from coming down on that right side. You saw her limping for ages, but she's running around now on the baseline. She's ready to play if required in the game.
She looks like she desperately wants to come back in, but I'm sure Paul Goris is thinking the exact opposite. Thanks for the update, Nate. Good to know that she's okay. It was a big hit on the deck. Raver, the quarterback pass that Koch was the receiver. Tofayano now. She gets some offensive reward. Diebel from 3. Players, fingers pointing everywhere. It is going to go with Geelong.
But love seeing that as well from Horvat, still continuing to contest that and fight for that offensive ball.
Shelley. Jones, nice look to Frawling.
And that's a great look. That's what I've been asking for most of the game from Geelong. There was a miscommunication. I think they thought there was going to be a bit of a 3-way switch, but it didn't end up happening, and they ended up with Diebel on Frawling, and they went straight to it. That's great offense for Geelong, and something they need to try and make sure that they carry moving forward.
Great response out of that timeout from Geelong. There's forces a timeout for the Caps. Paul Goris has got a few things to talk through. His team's still leading 78-59. But there's been points from Schelling, Frawling and Brett, and then a 3 from Raber. And of course, a very nice run for the visitors. Let's take a listen into the timeout while we can.
Screen if they're up and in. You run away.
Reach into that screen because they're in blocks. Come off the score, and you see the hammer in the throwback. Yeah? execution, defensively. Let's trap the next ring pick and roll. I don't care where it is, just go and get it. Here we go. Trap it.
So you're nodding your head along there to Chris Lucas's remarks. Happy with that?
Yeah, I like it. I like the obviously the trap and trying to create a little bit of chaos defensively. But he's asking for exactly what we were talking about earlier. He wants a sprint into an on-ball screen, try and create a mismatch there, but also then have what we call a hammer screen on the weak side. So a screen from somebody about in the corner, they lift up to somebody that's on the wing and set a screen and sprint them to back to that corner. Just keeps the defense active. So he's looking to try and clear out that split line while attacking that on-ball screen and that picket that drops coverage from the Caps.
That's not what they would have wanted, but Deeble lets loose. Jones with the bucket. Nath, you're with the Caps. What did Paul Goris have to say?
Love to see that three ball from Deeble there. She got addressed in that timeout. The one before, Gori had talked about early swing or using her pace to blow past. Executing there gave her that open look at the three. So great to see her and Chantel Horvath as well. He just wasn't happy with the execution. Challenged them to play through fatigue.
Thanks for that, Nath. It's interesting to hear coaches challenge individual players sometimes. You don't often think it's the case, but it's such a high-performance environment with WNBL. It's great to see.
They're pro athletes, so there won't be anything they're not used to, and good pro athletes want to be challenged by their coaches like that.
And look at that, Deeble with the three, Horvath with the two, straight away responses. 83 plays 61, 2 minutes left in this game. It's been all the Capitals in front of their home fans. Going for back-to-back wins. Jones wanted some late points, not going to get them today. Bowyer's had a positive impact in this game with 6 points. Kabongi out onto the floor for some late minutes. Also Taylor Moll getting a look for Geelong United. Raber to Jones on her own, easy as you like. So a 20-point lead. Let's check out the Amy replay. Deeble into Potch. Nails the long two. She's had an outstanding game, Nadia Potch. 20 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists as well. Some locals hitting the floor, and Meg Jefferson gets involved straight away.
Love seeing when the bench players get to check in and they are rewarded quickly. They train just as much, just as hard as everybody else, but don't often get the opportunities that everybody else gets. So a really good moment there for the Caps.
An equally good moment from Taylor Moll, a very nice look from three-point range. And Harper Andrews goes in for a jumper and she gets involved in the action. Giving the crowd lots to cheer about at the moment.
Bench saying, play me.
Sharp now to Raber, who steps back and banks it in. Now the scoring's starting to flow. Great to see a license to shoot from all of these players out on the floor. Horvath, beautiful move. So a 20-point lead for the Caps. They're going to go back-to-back after defeating Adelaide on Friday night and breaking a 5-game losing streak. Trying their best to get off the bottom of that table. They've been playing better basketball than probably their ladder position suggests. A good block in the end there from Shelley. Bench getting up and about with every possession. And they finish off a fantastic game here, the Caps. Bowyer He's lit it up from three-point range, but Bongi, we know she can hit a deep three. She's got to go now. She won't. She'll hold it. A still fantastic win for the UC Capitals. They go back-to-back. They get their season back on track. Hugs all round. Great to see the bench players getting involved towards the end, but at full time, it was 89 the Caps, 69 Geelong. Excellent performance from the UC Caps. They dominated from start to finish, and one win's good, Zoe, but how about 2 wins in a weekend?
Yeah, I think, you know, they would be so pleased leading into the new year. They want to make sure that they continue their run as long as they can, and if they keep playing basketball like this, they will. The way they've moved the ball, pushed in trans, and then really defended when they needed to. There was a couple of moments where they had some lapses, but when it really came to the crunch, they were able to get the stops they needed and then go and capitalise at the other end.
Capitalise, they did. 4 players in double figures for the UC Caps. Nadia Poch with the 20 points, Horvat with 19 and 12, so a double-double for her to go with 5 assists. Jade Melville with the 17 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Didn't see her in the 4th term due to a collision, but she's absolutely fine. Happy to sit on the bench and cheer on the bench players. 14 points for Nicole Munger. 100% from the field. She maintained that record throughout the game, and the 3 rebounds. They did it without Charlie Collier too. 4 points, 10 rebounds. She was in foul trouble for most of the game. And you look at Geelong United, they are the 2 players in double figures. Great to see Keely Froling with another double-double for her season. 17 points, 11 rebounds and 2 assists. Hayley Jones, another positive performance. We highlighted her at the start of the game. 12 points, 7 assists and 3 rebounds. Let's head down to Nathan Streppel. He's riding in the action. Nath, over to you.
I'm here with Nards Poch. Nards, you had 6 in the first quarter. We're getting out in transition. Did you feel early like it might be a game for you?
No, not at all. I don't. When I'm missing shots, it's a bit, you know, you want to step back and shy away from it, but I don't know.
Well, you say that. One time out, Jade looked at you. She tried to find you and thrown a turnover. I think she was frustrated having 7 turnovers. But she yelled at you. She's like, Nards, look at me. I'm trying to get you open. She unlocked you for 10 in the 3rd quarter. You're part of a 12-0 run, and that was the game. Is that what turned it?
Yeah, definitely. Jade's a great point guard. You know, our thing in our team, we want to get out and pace, and she's good for that. So, yeah, we need to turn and look for her because she wants to give it up. You know, she's good at looking at us, you know, wants to get us the ball. So, yeah, we just got to turn around. So, yeah, it's good that she's telling us this because, yeah.
Well, Nards, you finished with 20 and 6 and several times just looked like you were far and away the best athlete on the floor. Heck of a game. How did the atmosphere in here feel cheering on the Caps for a win?
Oh, it's great. They come here all the time. They're behind us all the time. So it's great, you know. With our record and whatever, they don't really care. Like, they come and support us, always have our back. So it's great playing here. They've got our back the whole 4 quarters, and we can hear them every time. So it's so good to play here.
2-0, Caps undefeated in 2025. Well done.
Thank you.
Great insights from Nadia Poch. Did you think it was your game? No.
Yeah, I'd love to have a game where I don't think it's my game and have 20 points. But whilst the way she was offensively was outstanding, what she did defensively too was really important for the Caps, and a lot of things that don't turn up on the stat sheet, you know, deflections and steals and things like that don't quite go to her. So she was just tremendous throughout the entire game.
Let's head back down to Nathan courtside. He's with another star of the show, Chantal Horvat. Nath, over to you.
Chantal absolutely filling it up today. 19, 12, 5 and 4. It felt like it was a game we unlocked. Were you feeling good out there?
Yeah, I was feeling good. I think everyone was feeling good tonight. Everyone was contributing. It was a real team win. It was really special to be a part of that.
It started early too. It felt like you're up for the battle with Keely Froling. Both of you going at it. It was fun to watch. It looked physical. Was it pretty tough out there?
Yeah, it was definitely a physical game, and they're incredibly tough. Geelong, got to give them credit where credit's due. They are incredibly tough. They're great rebounders. So we knew we had a job to do on the boards and in the paint, and we did that tonight.
You talk about a team win. When someone like yourself's having a bit of a game, you might be excused for trying to pad your numbers towards the end, but the way you found Jefferson at the end when she came in, and as a team, everyone's celebrating, I think it said a bit about what you guys are about as a group.
Absolutely. And Meg's just the best. It's a hard role to play, and she has a smile on her face every day. She's everyone's biggest cheerleader. So for her to come into the game tonight and us to be able to get her the ball, get her some points on the board, that makes us happy. And I'm so excited for her. She's a great talent, so it was fun to see her get out there tonight and have a crack.
And finally, we love seeing you play there. Can you just tell us, is the thumb doing okay?
Don't ask. Don't ask. Can't let the opponents know how it feels. I'm doing what I can with it. It is what it is. It's my right hand. You just got to play through it. You got to play tough. It's basketball. There's always going to be something. So just trying to make it work.
Well, you made it work well tonight. Heck of a game. Well done, Chantel.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
These players are so humble. They're not wanting to give away anything. It's a great sight to see. And great insights there about Meg Jefferson. You mentioned, these development players. It's a hard job for them. You're right. They train as hard and they do all the work. And the highlights will show they got in towards the end of the game and had a nice impact.
Yeah, they did. And it's one of the things as a main player or a starter that you really do want to get the bench players opportunities if they do get to come into the game. So it was really good to see. But the Caps were just phenomenal from start to finish tonight, both ends of the floor, and the way they were able to multiple players in double figures and just really make it difficult for Geelong United. Really good to see, and hopefully they can continue it moving forward. It's just, for Geelong.
That time. And the best part of the game, of course, the fans getting around each team. I don't reckon I've seen many pillows signed in my life, but that's great to see. Jade Melbourne, of course, always has plenty of time for the fans. Well, thanks so much for having us as part of your Sunday afternoon. Julia Montesano, Zoe Carr, Nathan Strempel, and our entire production team wish you well, and we'll see you soon for Perth versus Adelaide over on 9 Now.
Ellis driving baseline. What a dive! Wickham. How sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melbourne, the lefty lay in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.